finale. The past is the past. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end, and I'm a little disappointed. It's your boy Icon with another Marvel Disney Plus review for you, going over the season finale of that Ironheart, because we're definitely going to get another season after how this one ended. And before we get started, hit that notification bell, like and or subscribe. Check out my previous 5 reviews for Ironheart, and let's get started. So, in the last episode, we lost Natalie. The AI was gone, and they couldn't figure out how to get her back. When the episode does start, though, it actually takes place. It gives us more of John and Parker, where Parker and John tried to break into Parker's father's house so they can steal the stuff out of his safe. And then, like security showed up, the goons showed up, and they were coming after Parker. And then when Parker ran away, that's when we see when the hooded figure approached him for the first time about, I guess, taking the hood and taking the power. He sat him down at a restaurant, offered him some pizza, and then just asked him, he was like, what do you want? And he was like, I want to be rich, I want to be powerful, I want to be famous. So he left him the cloak and, left him, basically left him to do his own thing. Parker now, he was freaking out because he was just like he wanted a meeting with the guy. Like, he rolls up on the guy again and he calls him. He's like, yo, this isn't what you promised me. He was like, you promised me fame, you promised me fortune, you promised me riches. And he was like, there's not enough power. He said, I need the cloak to have more power. So the guy was like, okay. He was like, I'll see what you can do. I'll see what I can do. He's like, you keep wearing the cloak and I'll keep giving you the power. They never actually explained why every time he uses the cloak for whatever reason, why he keeps getting those veins popping up all over his body. That was actually never really explained. So, but anyway, but the cloak's supposed to be a little bit more powerful now because he's supposed to still be in the game. So he goes, he gives him the robe, and then now he got the robe and he's trying to work on some new shit. Riri now, she's sitting, she's talking to her friends and her family, and then they were just like, hey, let's do some analysis and try to figure out what magical effect had on the actual suit and why we ended up losing Natalie. But then Riri was like, nah, I ain't got no time for that. She's like, I gotta go now, and I gotta try to defeat this fool before you all get hurt, and I can't let Natalie's sacrifice be in vain. So she says goodbye to everybody, she jumps in the suit, and then she dips. When she shows up to Parker's house, obviously she runs into Ezekiel. Her and Ezekiel get into a fight. Ezekiel tells her that he's not in control and that he's being controlled by Parker. Riri ends up helping him, shake the control because she need him in the nuts. And then when she need him in the nuts, like, all the tech in him basically went to like a factory reset, which, released him from Parker's control. The problem that I have with that is after she hit him in the nuts and hit him with the reset, Riri was like, yo, are we cool now? And he basically was like, no. He was like, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm pissed off, I still got beef. And he said that after this reset happens, like, me and you are still going to have problems. And I'm just like, bro, how? Because, yeah, I understand you're mad about the whole prison thing, but you're not in prison anymore. And the fact that you're not in prison anymore, that was your own choice because you chose to team up with Parker. And then Parker strung you up like a puppet and used you for his own nefarious needs. I'm like, why are you not mad at Parker? Why are you still mad at her? And then she just helped you break free of Parker's control. So the fact that you're just like, oh, even though you helped save me, when I see you on the streets, it's still going to be something. I don't understand that. I don't understand his motivation behind that other than him just being angry and just wanting to lash out for like no reason. We never saw the Parker gang again either. That was strange. But then now that she's defeated Ezekiel, now we're moving on to the final boss. She meets up with Parker. The two of them start fighting. Parker basically beats her up, gets her down on her knees. And then right before Parker is about to kill her, it's revealed that it's a hologram and she wasn't really there. She caught him by surprise and she managed to rip the cloak, the hood off of his body. Now that the hood's been removed, Parker now has no power, and he's just like squirming on the floor. And he's like, "Give me the robe." He's like, "You don't know how it feels to not have the power." She's like, "Yeah, I kind of do." And then she just takes the robe and like walks away. So I'm just like, so this whole time we could have just stopped him by just taking the robe. So in the earlier episode, when the black girl took the robe and was wearing it, was dancing around with it, that was pretty much it. Like, he had no power at that point. So it should have been over then because he didn't. I was just like, so basically you just took the robe. Okay. So she takes the robe and then she walks away. She walks into a room and now she's back in the same restaurant Parker was in the beginning, and the same guy is there eating pizza and asks Riri to have a seat. So she has a seat. He reveals himself to be Mephisto, and I'm like, oh, isn't this the guy that everybody wanted to be in WandaVision? So he shows up randomly in Ironheart, and then he basically says, like, for lack of a better word, he basically was like, yo, Parker was a bitch, And as smart as you are, if you and I team up together, you and I can do great things. And he was like, I can give you the one thing that you want, which is to return your best friend. And then, he's just like, so work with me and we'll do great things. And then he extends the hand to see if the two of them have a deal. They then start showing us like flash clips of her being in the garage, back in her stepfather's garage. And she had her hair out. She had her hair out. She had the naturally curly afro, which she had in the IronHeart comics. So I'm just like, so if this girl is capable of having the natural curly fro, if she's capable of looking like the Riri Williams from the comics, why we got this corn rolled up ghetto ass man? I'm like, we could have. I like when I saw her in the garage with the curly hair and I was like, where was this? Where was this? Oh my God. So then Natalie shows back up again. And then she's just like, Riri sees her and she's like, oh my God, you're back or whatever. And then Natalie basically pushed her away because she was like, girl, back up, you're too close. Because Riri thought she was AI. She thought the AI returned. But then the fact that Natalie was actually able to push her, like physically push her, to come to find out, it actually really is Natalie's solid. It really is her. And then Riri was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're back. And then she grabs Natalie and hugs her. And then when she hugs her, you see those same veins that Parker had start forming on her arm. And I'm like, this girl done sold out to the bad guys. And I'm like, it was bad enough she spent majority of the season being a criminal, but now she done sold out to the forces of evil. She done shook this man's hand just to get her best friend back. Now she got the veins growing on her body. And I'm sorry, that was very disappointing. So the fact that we're getting a season 2 gives me some sort of hope, because they're obviously not going to leave it like that. There's no Young Avengers clip, but of her like teaming up with the Young Avengers. But the fact that that's how the season ended, with her basically joining the dark side, I was just like, that was very disappointing. And throughout this entire season, this character has shown nothing but the ability to make poor choices. She makes horrible choices. She sucks. I was really hoping that was just some weird dream sequence and she didn't actually sell out to the forces of evil, but she legitimately sold out to Mephisto. She shook the hand, she took the do-re-mi, and now she's for the sake of having her best friend return to her, she's an instrument for the forces of darkness, and that's very disappointing. Like, it is. It's like, I wasn't happy with that particular ending. Then we get a post-credit scene with Parker going into the magic daughter, going into her shop, and he was basically just like, yo, I need help with magic. And then she was like, I had no magic. And then I'm like, why are you just randomly just telling? Like, isn't this not supposed to be a secret? The daughter, when it comes to like hiding the secrets of, she's just very unnecessarily open with knowing magic, and she just tells anybody that's like willing to listen. But then he told her, he was like, look, he said, I need some real heavy duty shit. I don't just need like party tricks. And then she was just like, okay, and I can show you what's in the basement. So I'm like, so now is he using her? Is he teaming up with her to try to save Riri? Is he just like a drug addict that's going through like remission and he just needs a hit? So it's like, so because he misses having magic, is he desperately just trying to get his hands on any type of magic that he can? Or is he specifically trying to use magic to take down Riri because Riri teamed up with Mephisto? Is he trying to help Riri break free of Mephisto? I was confused about why he was even doing that, why he was going to her, and why he was just like, oh, I need some heavy duty magic. It's like, what's your motivation for that? Is this for selfish purposes, or are you trying to save Riri? Why did Riri even sell out to the dark side to begin with? Like I said, I'm confused. I'm very disappointed, but that was how the season ended of IronHeart, and thank you for tuning in. So, overall, aside from the ghetto hood buffoonery, I did enjoy this show. I enjoyed the series. The series was good up until the end. If we're going through a redemption arc now where she's going to be working for the forces of, like, are the Young Avengers going to end up saving her from Mephisto and then she joins the Young Avengers or whatever? Like, it's just, like, out of all the characters, nobody sold out to the dark side except this poor girl. And then, so they finally got her looking like the IronHeart she should look like, and now it's over. So I don't know. I mean, when the show comes back, when they bring the season back, I'm definitely going to watch with the hopes that they can redeem this poor girl. But like I said, it was just very disappointing to know that in the end, she didn't learn jack shit. Like, all the stuff with her teaming up with Parker to begin with, she didn't learn anything from that. And it's like she's so desperate, to take the easy way out when it comes to certain things. Sometimes she's just willing to sell her soul to the first person that's willing to cut the check, and that's, like I said, that's disappointing. But share your questions, comments, and concerns down below, and let's continue to talk about it. So what were your thoughts about Ironheart as a season? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? I mean, if there was something I missed, like the purpose of her teaming up with Mephisto, like if that was a comic book thing that I don't know about, put that in the comment section down below and let's talk about it. And for the love of God, all you people on TikTok, let's have actual conversations and not just throw unnecessary insults because somebody said something that you didn't appreciate. But let's see. I'm still, like, I'm not, like, the show wasn't trash. I'm not saying the show was trash. Like, I did enjoy the show. I did enjoy the series as a whole, but I was just disappointed with her, basically selling her soul to the devil. So we'll see what happens when Ironheart hopefully concludes. But right now, it's all about that Superman, because Superman comes out on July 11th, and we're definitely going to review that Superman and bring that to you right here on Red Eyes Entertainment. Check me out on X, check me out on Instagram, on TikTok, and YouTube, where you can leave those questions, comments, and concerns, because I'm definitely looking forward to hearing from all of you about Ironheart and where everything goes from there. So that was it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. So for the final season, for the final episode of Ironheart, we're looking forward to that season 2. Can't wait for it. And until then, let's pray for Riri, because now she's working for the bad guys. Let's pray for Riri. And until then, we're out this
That's my tool. They got a back bling. Back bling.